Talked to Nikita Zadorov, and he talked about the team needing to have uncomfortable conversations to make sure everyone was buying in and playing for the team as opposed to playing as individuals. Is that something that you've seen, and do you think that it's important for this group?
To play as a team?
And to have those conversations.
That's part of leadership, for sure. And you have to play as a team in this league, otherwise it's going to be hard to win on a nightly basis, for sure.
Have you noticed that individual mentality on the ice as opposed to that collective team mentality that you'd want?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say individual mentality in regards to effort. The issue that we talked about yesterday was how we manage the puck at times. And that's something that we have to do a better job of cleaning up. And oftentimes that falls into individual, but I won't say individual effort type things.
Is that, like, for lack of a better word, selfishness? Like, what would you attribute
No,
that
sometimes it's trying to do a little bit too much. You get into stretches where you want to help the team win, or we got to find a way to get a goal at this point of a game. So you try a little bit too much instead of making the smart, simple play. Yeah.
What have you made of Nazem Kadri's play through the first 6 games of the year?
I think Naz has worked. I mean, that's one thing you'll see from him. You want him to find the back of the net at some point for sure, but while he's working to find that, it's important that the other part of his game is really good too. So it's that old saying, if you're not scoring or it's not going in for you, you want to make sure you're really good in other areas as well.
Ryan, what comes to mind when I asked you about the last time these two teams met at MSG?
Yeah.
What do you remember about that game?
It was one of the best games I've been a part of, for sure. There was a lot of energy and a lot of juice in that game. The building in New York was really feeling it at that time, I would say. And two teams that you wouldn't expect to have that almost a little bit of hatred in that game did. So it made for a real a terrific game to be a part of, for sure. And players remember that. Like, it's nice to have an original 6 team come in a situation like this, because you always get a little bit more energy for them with our great fans here, for sure, and the players as well. They feel it.
Sorry, for a guy like Kadri, then, or anyone that's maybe not finding the score sheet as a coach, how can you sort of put them in a spot where they eventually do find their?
It's not necessarily put them there. It's just stay with it a lot of times and work the right way.
What challenges do the Rangers present tonight?
A lot. Another very good, very deep team. The neutral zone's a difficult place for sure when you're playing against them, and you know their power play unit's been together for a long period of time. And then they're showing this year to be a very stingy team. So you have to almost anticipate a low-scoring type of game.
Matt Coronado's talked about knowing it'll be a big adjustment to playing this many games. Like, he hasn't come close to this, and you've talked about that as well.
Yep.
How do you sort of monitor his energy, if that's the right word, or how he's handling that workload?
Yeah, I think just as he said it, you monitor him. So if his pace is starting to drop a little bit, or he's not having as much impact, then maybe there's a way we can reduce some of his ice time at times. So we work with him in those situations, try to help him over the hump. But you're right. You do have to monitor that on a daily basis, because it is a different thing for him this year.
You've already switched Jonathan Huberdeau from the top line to the second line in the Detroit game. I know it's really early in the year, but I was just curious about the thinking of placing him there. And do you feel you have the ideal center for him on this team right now?
I'm not even really sure if there's what top lines we're talking about. So we have a lot of good centermen on our team, and we don't really know where our lines are going to be at yet tonight.